The key idea here is that freedom without structure can quickly become something you regret. And this is the time where you need to be paying attention to what is working, what is not working.
This is like an admonition to like the young ones,
Yeah.
right? Always ask for the why.
1, 2, ready, go. Unveiled Voices.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. If this is the first time you're joining us, my name is Anifah.
And I'm Mariam.
And together we make up some part of the team that is the Unveiled Voices. Again, if this is the first time you're listening, this is a podcast by us Muslim women for Muslim women and by
Everything Muslim women.
That does not mean that if you don't fall into that category, there's no, like, you're welcome to listen, you're welcome to comment and, ask questions and learn about us. Anyway, to our loyalists,
welcome back.
Welcome back.
So today is
the way you even put the laptop in front of
my tab is somewhere where I don't even know where it is, so I'm too lazy to go and pick it up. But today is also kind of is an interesting one. I think it's fair to call it a sequel to the Dear 16-year-old me episode. So 16-year-old probably trying to gain admission into uni and all of that. And now fast forward, you already have you've gained the admission, you're in a whole new world. Right? And how that was for us, for some other people, and kind of maybe advices, things we could do better, or things we were very proud of that we actually did at that point in time. So today's episode is going to be about first year Muslimah. If it doesn't necessarily mean uni first year as well, it could be you just being first time away from home, being away from what you're familiar with. So yeah, we're looking forward to do justice to that conversation today for sure, inshallah.
Yeah, I personally thought it was important to have this conversation, first of all, because we've actually kind of neglected our younger audience.
The youngest.
I feel like we've been talking about very serious topics that are more towards like adults.
Yeah.
So this is more towards, you're kind of on that early note, just on the verge of starting your life and you're trying to figure things out. Uni is very important because for most of us, at least for me, it's the first time I was away from home.
Yeah.
It was the first time I was fully responsible for making sure I prayed on time. No one was watching me super closely. It's also the place where you kind of start to see that, wait, I'm actually different to other people in pretty significant ways. There's a loneliness to deal with as well. And I think it's interesting how everyone is different. So people come, they are ready. They already know what they want. First class, I'm going to get a husband by the end of... And we should talk about it because some people come very driven. Yeah. Some people come very confident.
Before we even go there, for some of us, what influenced us picking the university we went to was actually because we wanted to go away from home. So to your point on expectations of what we expected, so maybe we would also talk about expectations versus reality when we
my sister.
So yeah, for some of us it was the influence was more
but I think to set the stage for this topic, what I want to get at is that most people are very unprepared for university, and university is going to reveal who you are, especially when there's no one else there. So this episode, we're not going to come here and tell you, oh, this is how you study. No, this is going to be a blend of everything. Being a Muslim in uni, the studying bits, the part of, okay, what are we actually here to do? We've lived it, right? We've been to uni. And this is something that we actually wish someone actually sat us down to tell us at the time. Think of it as a big sister conversation, that we wish we had. Should we go for it?
Yeah, let's go for it already.
Okay. The thing you said earlier about expectation versus reality, if you go back in time to, maybe your end of the first 3 months, your first semester, is it 3 months or 4 months? I can't even remember now. Going in, can you contrast who you were going in to end of first semester?
So I think my own case was also quite different in the sense that, so backstory, I think I must probably have mentioned it in one of the previous episodes. My first jam got withheld, so I couldn't write post-UTME, which is
immediately you finished.
And I knew I didn't want to stay home. I wanted to just get it rolling. Again, I was itching to leave the house already. So I applied for pre-degree. So pre-degree is the program kind of
Diploma?
It's diploma is different because you go into year two.
Yes, with
But
diploma.
pre-degree you still go into year one. So so just think about it as the gateway between
Lesson,
kind of like extra lesson
vibes.
kind of vibes. Yeah, but you're still going to is the full blown campus.
Yeah.
You go for lectures.
You are basically immersed in that uni
So you're already
environment.
getting used to the uni lifestyle. So that was what I did before I go into year one in university. And I remember going, like, when I was leaving my house to go there. Obviously, it was the typical expectation of, remember the
Daughter of whom you are.
Yes, as expected. And my very first night. Okay, so before I got to school, on the way to the uni campus, our car broke down.
Ooh.
And my mom had packed all sort of foodstuff for me.
For you.
My foodstuff that year was what extra that 1 year for
Whoa, that must have been
it was a lot. So imagine all the stress.
Not giving people out of your food.
Imagine the stress of having to like change vehicles, getting that heavy loading and all of that. And I finally settled into the hostel. So setting up my bed, bunk bed, meeting my roommate and all of that.
Yeah.
And tell me why, as I was about to lay down on my bed to sleep, I see my other roommates. That was like literally the first day of school resumption. And I see all of them turning up their lamps and reading. In my head, I was like,
oh my god, that is so different from my experience. But go on, we'll circle back.
I opened my lamp.
Let's go.
So for the expectation, I was like, at least this thing you
let's free ourselves.
The typical thing is that you would have expected a lot of welcome to school activities. Like, we're not going to lectures. Why is everybody so serious all of a sudden, right? So that was
allegedly people came prepared. That's what I said earlier about, like, we all come to uni differently. There are some people that already know that first class.
That's what they want.
There are some people that already know they are going to marry before leaving that school. And I'm saying it because, and it's not just women. Like, I know some of our friends are mutuals that they wanted to marry in uni or right after uni, and it happened. They were very intentional. Anyway, let's go. The first thing we're going to kind of highlight is, I think university will either shape you or swallow you.
100%.
Right? So think about your first week. There's, I don't know about you, but Unilag, for example, I think they do some fresher activity, a lot of parties. If you're someone who probably, peradventure, you didn't school in Lagos, you actually went to an entirely different country, this will be you hearing different accents, trying to find where your lecture hall is. So I think for me, the key idea here, or the thing, is going into uni, no one, especially as a Muslim woman, no one is going to be telling you on like home so far where, okay, wake up, Anifah, it's time. Come and pray.
You're responsible for your life.
Nobody is really, they don't really know the day-to-day of who you are making friends with. What are your habits? Like, in fact, in school, you can become anyone. There's the popular thing of, okay, maybe people that are not so from like well-to-do backgrounds, when they come to school, they pretend, they act like, exactly. So for me, I feel like if you're not very careful, uni will either shape you or swallow you. Question. What's something you thought that you would do at university, but you quickly realized that this isn't you at all?
That I had plans to do before leaving.
Yeah. Or maybe at the start you were like, okay, I'm going to try this, and then you tried and you're like, I'm not doing this. May I have something?
Well, you say one. I think I have one. Maybe so. There's this old, because OAU is a very safe campus.
Safe? What does that mean?
Like, you can literally walk around by 2 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So I knew. I thought.
I think most schools would be like that.
Some schools aren't. Yeah, some schools aren't. You can't walk. Walk by 3 a.m.
Okay.
Some schools.
Be careful out there, everyone.
So I mean, so far, at least I haven't had anything to the contrary, but OAU is one of the safest campuses in Nigeria. So I always thought, probably I would go out late, stay out late.
To do what?
I don't know, maybe just like hang out with friends or go and do overnight reading.
Okay.
I don't know that. I tried it before. 12 o'clock, I already carried my bag.
I like the fact that you carried your bag. So for me,
not possible.
For me, one of the things that I kind of got into, because the person I was working with at the time really liked the idea, was like overnight. So in year one, I would like follow her, follow them. We'll go and read. Well, we're telling ourselves we're reading, but
Yeah, doing.
half of it was the mosquitoes bite. I don't know what it is about me. Like mosquitoes loved to bite me. Like it was a thing where everyone else were not feeling it,
But
and I'll
you
be
were
feeling
feeling.
exactly. So mosquitoes will bite me so much that I'll be so like, what's going on here? But I will still go because I wanted to be with my
Feel,
friend.
yeah.
I felt like, okay, I'm learning something, blah, 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 blah. So I did that for a long, like
Wow,
half a
I
semester
took
out
my
there.
bag
Obviously,
immediately.
that's why I said that for you, it looked like you quickly realized that,
Immediately.
bro. So for me, I think it took me like half the semester to be like, okay, this thing is not working. I actually don't need to read in this.
Yeah.
Like for the kind of person
Do
I am,
you?
if I pay attention in class and I understand the concept, I don't need to put myself through that. Some people need to put themselves
Yeah,
through
to the
that.
extra.
Exactly. So goes back to what I said about like university will kind of reveal who you are, and it can either make you or kind of mar you. Imagine that I didn't quickly figure that thing out of, okay, this thing is not working for me, and I keep putting myself to that. Okay, I'm going to read. I'm going to read at night. Meanwhile, I'm not reading. It's not working for you, right? So the thing here, or the key idea here, is that freedom without structure can quickly become something you regret. And this is the time where you need to be paying attention to what is working, what is not working. Because you are on your own, you have to
Yeah,
figure
figure
it
it out
out.
for
Exactly.
yourself.
So
Yeah.
for me, again, really, really pay attention to yourself.
I agree.
Look at the things that are working and not working. And basically understand that the fact that nobody is there to tell you what to do does not mean, oh, don't do anything. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
And to your point on, is so your friends would shape you a lot. Like you already alluded to, you normally, if it was just you wouldn't have done the overnight whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe this is also a place to key in or chime in peer pressure.
Yeah.
Most of us argued, or we felt we cannot be influenced. But I think subconsciously some of us kind of took on.
And influence does not necessarily need to be a bad
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
I think that was the mistake.
So that's what I wanted to say, that
I would say something, and this flows directly to the next thing of like, be very honest with yourself. Like, who are you at that point in time? Like we've kind of said, people are coming away from home for the first time, where all their lives they've been told to pray. But the question is, do you really know why you are supposed to observe Salah
so
5 times?
personal conviction.
Are you really convinced that, this Islam is actually the way? Like, now would be the time to kind of take out all of this external noise influences and face the truth of who you are, not what someone says you should be, not the religious version that you were kind of performing for people at home, not the, I don't know, version that your friends know, but who really are you in that moment? And I think there's a thing of like, first of all, Allah doesn't burden us beyond more than we can bear. Like, this is a moment where, like, if you feel overwhelmed by how you've been practicing or not practicing your Islam at home, this is where you can actually learn Islam and kind of start to build your own. It's not like your own version, but like build your understanding. Exactly. For me, if I had to look at it, like the truth about the version of my Iman in the first year versus like what I thought I knew before I joined was, when I entered like uni, like I wasn't using the scarf in this way. I used to just wear like a small cap.
Yeah,
or
in pre-degree as well. Pre-degree first semester was me carrying turban, but by second semester,
and I want to tell the story of why I kind of ended up there. I think we're Muslim by birth, right? And I kind of knew, because I read the Quran. We did the classic walima that we do, at least in the southern part of the country, in Nigeria. But I didn't really know what the Quran was saying, right? I didn't know that actually we're supposed to dress certain way as men, as women in Islam. So when I entered Unilag, they used to have this, I think it was Thursdays or Tuesdays, like very close to my hostel. There was this basement, like we used to have some just lectures there, things around Islam. And I would attend, to be honest, and I would know, oh, I didn't know that, right? And little by little, and because I also had a friend who we used to go for these things together. She was farther along in the journey than I was. It was a thing of, oh, I didn't know. I want to be the best Muslim I can be. Okay, I'm going to show up this way. And I'm not too far off anyway. It's not hard anyway. No one, it didn't, like, there was no outright don't dress this way
Yeah.
at the time. So I would say one, like, in contrast to myself coming from home to uni, big difference in even how I showed up as a Muslim. The second thing is also just the knowledge. Like, I can't begin to tell you
What you learned.
how many misconceptions.
Yeah, you had to unlearn. Yeah,
And you know what?
100%.
I remember when I went back home after the first semester and I was dressed a certain way. There was this fear at home. In fact, one of my aunties at the time used to call me Elea.
Yeah, same.
Elea. It was even worse for me because I wasn't really the chatty type, like talking. I would just be inside. I prefer to read. So when we are doing like big parties and Elea, she's inside, there was that notion of, first of all, okay, what's going on with this girl? I mean, Unilag is supposed to be the happening social, which it had. But for me, I would say I was just lucky enough to land in a space where, the Islamic knowledge was just in front of me. I had a friend who was also pretty into that kind of thing. And it was just kind of easy to go into it. So for me, I was very honest about the fact that I actually didn't know much, even though I had been Muslim all my life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know. I was hungry for that knowledge. People that will remember some of the outrageous questions I used to ask. I had a lot of questions, so it's what Allah wants us to know that is in the Quran. We don't actually know the full entirety of our human history so far. So, like, I don't know, Sha, but I feel like that is the time where you need to be honest. And the reason why I raise this is I've seen a lot of Muslimas where, without clear understanding, right, they go into a version of Islam.
100%.
They go into a version of Islam. And then life happens.
And then the
same way they entered.
Yeah.
And Allah guides whom He wills.
Yeah.
But what I've seen is that there's a fundamental lack of understanding. I'm not saying understanding would mean you can't still, go out of the fold of Islam.
Yeah.
But there is something that comes with personal conviction, right? Mariam, what do you think?
So I mean, I saw it play out a lot in uni for sure. But my own question is, why do you think most people don't have a mind of their own, kind of? Because most of those people, when they later, like, okay, they go in, they get into it, and then along the line they get rebellious and they go out of it.
Yeah.
The common theme they used to say is, I was forced into it, I didn't know, whatever.
Yeah.
My own common, like, what usually comes to my mind is, why did you not have a mind of your own? And maybe we are probably different.
Victim blaming?
I'm not victim blaming, but I'm saying, like, one, my own kind of person, if you tell me this is whatever,
I'm stubborn,
like,
girl.
I'm going to question. So maybe this is like an admonition to, like, the young ones, right? Always ask for the why.
Yeah, don't swallow the questions.
Yeah, exactly.
If this sounds like, why do you ask there and then?
Exactly.
The thing is, in unis, you probably, amongst us there are people that they know the entire Quran, they studied fiqh, like, there are people that are very knowledgeable. There are always classes going on, Quran memorization and all. That is where you actually should be asking this question, because remember, by the time you get older and you come out of school, like, people are trying to eat. Nobody is trying to answer all these questions again. Do you understand? So 100% on, ask your questions. If you're not convinced, pray to Allah to guide you. Pray to Allah to make it easy. Because, again, these are things that are of the unseen.
Yeah.
We were not there when these things were happening. So it's a faith thing. And if it's looking like, okay, I don't believe this, then you need to ask the one who, is telling us, Allah, make it easy for me to understand. Because I think that people fundamentally, because it's easy to just blend in with others, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to go with the game. Some people, I'm sorry to say this, like, some people, maybe they have this brother that's been on their case, trying to, like, they're trying to walk towards, they want to get married to each other. So they're like, oh, I have this set life. I have this brother. Okay, let me just conform. And, my life will be, this linear thing. But life doesn't work out that way for the most
100%.
part. There are people that, yes, they met their husbands, they met their spouses early on, they married, everything is going well. But there are people that, that didn't quite happen to
Yeah.
them. The marriage did not work out, or
Yeah.
they didn't end up getting married. And I think it's very sad when inevitably some of the life occurrences that would happen to you would happen, and then you go out of the fold of Islam because
Of that.
yeah, may Allah guide us and make it easy. We need to really invest when we're at this age or this stage in our relationship with Allah.
Yeah.
Everything else should be serving that thing, even your friendships.
There was a Abu Isham's lecture I listened to. I'm just trying to like paraphrase, but it was about like upbringing of children, and he mentioned like key age ranges. So I think 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Already start introducing them to Islam through playful ways and all of that. Then when between the 7 to I think 12 or so, when they're already supposed to start praying, start enforcing it, start telling them what they should do and that. Then you see when they get to that teenage year,
the turbulent years,
be their friend and impact as much as possible, because those are the only age range that you can have to like 100% sort of mold them,
influence,
because by the time they go out into the world,
it's over.
Your influences is not going to be as much as you have over those early years. So yeah, 100% agree with you that we need to let people know early on. We need to
clear the doubts.
Like our kids early on. Maybe there's also like parenting bits to it on how, and maybe this is also like a segue into one of the questions I was going to ask that. Did you have any aha moment of how you were raised up and how somebody else was raised up when you were in school? I have one. It's a bit of a funny one, but so I remember when we did like first semester test or something in pretty grade that year, and I think I got one. I can't remember what I got, but my score was pretty good, but so we had like different subjects that we're doing, and maybe my English wasn't as good as the other one, so I was
your English,
like the English result or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't as good as the other result, so I was sad, sulky about it and all of that. And my friends in class and all that, so they were actually worried for a minute. They actually thought I had failed because the way I was moody and all of that.
So what grade did you get?
I'm sure it wasn't as bad as that. I think it was probably the later end.
Do you also feel like when you are younger you feel things a lot more? Because what was I expressing myself on?
Let me finish it. So when they asked me, why was I moody and I told them what I scored, they was I can still remember that conversation, and this guy looked me in the eyes and he was like, if he got what I got,
he will be dancing.
And he sends that result to their house that his father is going to kill cow. Like they're going to have to. I'm like, I was already playing the kind of conversation. I mean, it's not like, to your point again, we had that standard, or we had that high worry of things.
I had to learn this with my brothers. So I have 2 younger brothers.
They are different from
exactly. My sister and I, we did sciences, right? My brothers did like more of the econs, comma. So there's already a difference
between how you guys
the way we were like so about our result, about our grades, and I'm looking at my immediate brother, especially in the earlier years. What's going on? So, to what you said, like it's not even difference in upbringing per se. It's just that we all have different abilities, and where your own excellence point starts,
that's some person.
So it's a good lesson.
We're always better in different things. I still used to say it today. There's one person in my secondary school that I actually respected a lot. But if we are talking about like academic brilliance in terms of ranking, obviously this person wouldn't be like top 10 in the class.
Why did you respect them?
But I remember early on then when we'll be talking, and this guy will be talking like about geography in terms of, there is this city in this place, there is this country. He knew the world outside of
just the classroom.
And I used to envy that a lot because okay, the only thing you can ask
Admire.
me, yeah, I used to like the only thing you can ask me is maybe what they've taught us in class. Like I was so I really admire that about it. So I just wanted to corroborate what you said that when someone else excels and then is one else we are all different.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the next thing I would say is it's very important to define success. Maybe not in the first year. Like, what does success in uni look like for you? Or, to be honest, you just be doing like this, and flowing away with everyone.
And also having a North Star. So, yeah, 100% everybody goes into uni to get a first class, but it's not everybody that
they play. Not everybody goes to get a first
so
class.
So, already know. And again, there are also like a lot of people in my class, in my grad class that I really admire that as well. And when we finished first year, and it was quite clear that okay, like this first class,
no go.
I knew a lot of people that they were still. You needed your BSc, especially if you are in grade.
You don't want to fail. I'm sure you don't want to fail.
I knew a lot of people in my class that year that they pivoted, quote unquote, into like some couple of other things. Some went entrepreneurial route and they actually did well. Some there was one person that actually went into UI UX and that was that year when before so by year 3 we're already doing gigs and like having like side money and side hustle by the side and we were still obviously we're still hustling.
I have a similar story but maybe I'll go into it later where like some of our classmates before we even started doing programming, they already were programming. They don't lock in. So by the time we were looking for internship, some of them did not even look for
because
they were ready.
So this is also to the point of when you get into uni, you meet all sorts of people, people that
first class, always outside party,
people that
society queens, the ones that will win all the the things they do in the halls where they will do BT, the ones that win the corporate
ones, the
halal romance people, the people that they already know that they will marry each other since year 1. They did there.
So it's always like very different groups of people, and that's what makes.
So basically, if you don't define what success looks like for you, you're going to be chasing someone else's lifestyle. I think what I want us to own in on here is that, like, as a Muslim woman, in fact, as a Muslim, point blank, your own version of success has to be layered. It cannot be just I'm coming out of university with a first class. No. We are so much more than that. You need to be thinking about what is my character? What is my relationship with God? Am I disciplined? What are the academics looking like? That's where you need to be honest with yourself about like, okay, if I want a first class, how do I get it? Am I willing to put the sacrifice into it? Or am I okay with a 2-1? Or like what you said, what about my friends? I feel like when you're younger, you don't put much stock into friendship. Like you just cut. The way I even see people talk about cut people off, I'm like, wait, is there some friends somewhere in one corner that you have? But like, we really underestimate how much, at least for me, a lot of the friends I made in uni, they are still my friends till date.
Yeah.
My husband that I married now for university and meet up. Or even though I did not think at the time we were going to get married.
Allegedly,
just saying. Even your mental well-being, like you want to be happy, you want to spread joy, you want to have some sense of direction, you want barakah in your time. So as a Muslim, my point here is when everybody is saying, oh, their own is just, I want to come out with a husband, oh, I want to do this. Yours has to be layered and very, very nuanced.
Yeah, okay.
There's also the question of there is something called ihsan, like excellence. Like, it doesn't guarantee that, oh, you're going to come out with a first class, but are you actually going to put in the effort, set up your habits, set up structure such that you are highly likely to hit that and then leave the rest for Allah? So this thing I'm saying here is more about, again, defining your version of success. What did you think was your ideal success? Like, if I do this in uni, I don't make out.
Obviously. Get a first class.
Okay. Did you get it?
Yes, I got it.
So listen to Mariam when she's talking.
I graduated valedictorian actually.
Say it louder. Put the mic in your...
Wait.
Oh.
So I want to point that out with also a caveat, because I usually, this is always like the first thing I say when people reach out to me.
Valedictorian, no.
How did you do this? How did you do
Are
that?
those the ones that actually give the speech on the day?
You don't in Nigerian university.
No.
No, that's the BGS of the old school that does that.
What was your own?
Of my department
Okay,
now.
okay. There are levels. I understand. Even though.
So, no, obviously, my own game plan, and because I had seen it work out, which is also good, right? There are different ways to make it in this life. You can't underestimate academic excellence. Everywhere I've gotten to today is by virtue of the fact that,
Alhamdulillah,
Allah did it, and also like academic excellence. And you can have somebody else that is from entrepreneurship or from their skills and all of that. But for me, I knew from early on. In fact, I even have story for this when I was in primary school. All those drama club, or they'll do choreography. If I do one practice, like they always remove me from the first practice.
Why?
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to dance.
I don't know how to. There was one that year in primary school.
You pay when you're that young,
like, because I wasn't cut out for it. But if you say his book or whatever, I was clearly cut out for that. So I knew that was like my strength, and I really, really owned into it. So when I went into uni, my North Star for sure was, I don't think I necessarily had that mindset to graduate top of my class. But for sure, to graduate with the first class was one of my North Star. And when we did the first semester, and I had a 5.0 first semester, and I was like, okay, this is actually very much achievable.
It's looking so like
let me just go for it. Side note is that I was also writing my ICANN exams at the time, so I was actually doing
you talked about the
I was actually doing 2 heavy things at the time. But again, this was my strength, my core strength, so it was easy for me. Would I advise somebody else to run BSc and school program together, an ICANN program together? Not necessarily, if that person, that's not their core strength, right? So, but for me, when I went into uni, yes, for sure, I had the North Star of wanting to graduate with the first class. Being valedictorian and graduating top of my class came as a result of that. So yeah, I
actually really like that. I think for me particularly, I don't think my intention with going to uni was,
you did not want to get a first class.
It wasn't a thing for me, because like I never had trouble with academics. It was just if you come, I don't know, like maybe my circumstance at that time as well contributed to it. So I'll tell you what was on my mind. Like, okay, go to uni, come out, get a job, help my mom.
Yeah,
that was my own driver. So even first year, when I had like a really good, it wasn't a 5.0, but I think it was pretty close. I didn't switch on to the fact that actually you can lock in, and if I this kind of thing, I'm locking. And I think there was also a lack of awareness of the kind of things you are leaving off the table if you don't max your effort, especially when that's already your strong suit.
Yeah.
So where I'm getting to here is, you need to be really aware. If you don't know, you need to ask questions. You need to talk to people. I wish I could tell you guys that, this is a perfect world. You always have people telling you, advising, but it's easy to fall through the cracks. In a way that you are not failing, but you are not.
I mean, we had people that in first year they were on first class, and by
you are not failing, but you are not also pushing yourself. And this is where you need to stretch. This is where you need to push yourself. Find out, okay, what do I like? What do I not like? What's easy for me? What's hard for me? Build systems around what you already know. Learn people's skills. Develop who you are. The point I'm going to make here concretely is that, do you know that some people didn't even know about like popular scholarships, like, MTN, for we that were in engineering, Shell, Agbami. A lot of us did not even know these things. Some of us knew, they applied, they got it. That's when, so we can, do you understand what I mean? So you need to be very aware, especially for those of you that even from a background where you could do with all these things. Like if you get a scholarship, you don't need to worry people at home. What are you doing? Sleeping, waking up?
To your point that I knew my strength, I was aware of this kind of opportunities, and I went for it. And it made me like be able to focus on other things. Imagine me still having to like go through school and I was thinking of, well, how will I survive this? How will I survive that? And yeah, so
Yeah, and I want to also let us correct the thing of like, because I had that thing of go to school, get a job.
no.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Not even in the world
In
of
fact,
today.
when you go to school, you should not be thinking about, oh, just going into a job. I mean, jobs are fine.
Yeah.
It's also like, can I actually build something off the back of
What
all
I'm
these
learning.
things I'm doing in school? The thesis, especially for people in like sciences, like we're actually the people that are supposed to be creating jobs. Do you understand what I mean? It's so unfortunate that in some parts of the world,
yeah, the environment is probably not enabling as
I
well.
still want people to not key into that.
I have to be,
because it's not everybody. No, even abroad, like everybody is not Bill Gates. Everybody is not the turtleneck.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, but there are some of us that are like that, and the fact is, the environment kind of beats it out of you. But the message here is that if you're also not that type that your dream is a job and yours is more like, there's this research you're really excited about. There are things you can do even wherever you are to start working towards getting that. And the thing is, can I build things that matter? Can I work with people that disagree with me? Can I make my decisions, aligned with Allah and your values as a Muslim? These are questions. These are things that you are building up while you are in uni. Anyway, next thing. Do you want to?
I'll go for it.
So, a lot of us going to uni, we kind of take it for granted, right? Like we just think, after secondary school,
I had my own reality check early on.
But even though you did foundation, maybe you had the money to go for that. Where I want to go to is that a lot of us complain so much. Even in university, then we'll be like, this man has put his class to this and we don't want to go. I'm not going to class today. And what I want to highlight here is like, we need to internalize gratitude, the gift of youth and time that we have, and just again locking. Pause as a person that just gotten into uni, or you are in uni, and look at your life. You are young, most likely. You are getting an education. You are safe enough to be in a place that you can even go to school. And you are in a position that many women around the world would actually really, really want. Like, they are praying for this thing. At the same time, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
You can get exhausted. There's just so much to juggle and you're adjusting. Two truths can exist. My point is, and my message is, realize how lucky you are.
Yeah.
Realize how lucky you are. Realize that there are people that will kill to be in the position you are in, and do what? Be grateful. Was there anything you feel like, or some habits that you actually picked up while in uni that you still kind of use till now?
Oh yeah, starting my day early.
Okay.
I mean, even pre-uni,
I've
always done that because I used to be one of the early birds in that would get to school. For 100%, one of the habits I did was starting my day early. Even days when I didn't have early morning class, I would rather wake up early, go to the library, get stuff done, and then when it's time for my normal class, then go. Versus me just faffing around in the hostel for my 12 o'clock class and eventually wasting that 4 hours time. So 100% starting my day early was one of the habits.
One of the things I wanted to highlight also is how we waste time in university. I'm going to give an example of when I was in year 1. There was a strike, I think it was for 6 months. And in the uni at the time, there was free internet. That was my first time with free internet, unlimited. Ask me what I was doing.
Facebook.
I was watching conspiracy theory videos. That's when I knew about Illuminati.
At least you watched conspiracy.
I was watching conspiracy. I'm not
informed.
I'm not saying that I did not do other things.
Yeah.
But if I looked at how I spent the time,
3/4 was
conspiracy theory, Illuminati, how if this one, the singing backwards, something. And again, it just, if I think back to those 6 months of,
you can't take it back.
You can't
get it back.
Do you know the things that I could have done at the time? Do you know? I just, if I look at it now and I say, like, if I just get 6 months, I don't have to worry about what to eat, what to drink, free internet, Do you know the things I would achieve now? So time is very valuable.
100%.
And even as Muslims, like when you want baraka in your time, starting your day early, that you said,
Yeah.
is a very good way to kickstart it. Fajr done, you've done your askar, you've
Scar.
done your, go straight to work. Go straight to work, go straight to reading, go straight to something that is productive. Then you can now say, okay, at the end of the day, you rest or you find time to do siesta. But the point is, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't waste your time. Because if I look back at that time, I still look at it that no, maybe I could have learned how to program earlier. Maybe I could have. Allah knows, but
We plan, but Allah is
we
the best
planned
of
by
planners.
Allah is the best of planners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe conscious of time.
Mhm.
Maybe we talk to the what also uni, like what to look ahead for and what uni would prepare you for.
Mhm.
For sure, uni is probably, we already mentioned it at the beginning, the first time some of us would interact with so many people from even different
Mhm.
parts of the country, the world, depending on wherever you studied. How is your interpersonal relationships, like how do you relate with people,
Yeah.
how do you even live with people, so, like even in the hostels and all of that.
Yeah.
How do you ask for help, for maybe you need help with a project, you need help to understand a particular course, how do you even meet deadlines?
Yeah.
Because
I,
yeah, they
I,
are going
I I think of it as like university is actually literally preparing you for the real world.
Mhm.
So our careers now are kind of the skills we
That
picked up
you
then more than the grades.
yeah.
So all those group projects that some people will not contribute to,
Ah,
that is
I have
exactly
stories.
how work
I
is.
have stories for this.
All the office hours that okay, you're talking to people,
Mhm.
someone is coming to meet you,
Mhm.
asking for help, asking your colleague to explain something to you, that's a sample of it. The
Yeah.
same way you're navigating, oh, this thing, I know this person knows it better.
Mhm.
How do I connect to them? You're already seeing some preamble. Deadlines, your assignments, of course,
Yeah.
your group work deadlines. Societies, leadership. Abi, you're not being part of anything extra. You're just focused on just the academics. It's not going to work out for you in uni exactly that way. Sorry, outside of uni exactly that way. Because when you're at work, you know the thing where people say, oh, I'm killing it at work. I'm doing all the
Mhm.
work. I never get promoted.
Yeah.
What
That's and
classic?
yeah, and I want to chime in on that. That especially in this age and time, you can't afford to be a triangular student.
What's a triangular student?
You go
I know, but
to
I'm
you
just
go to class, go to I don't know.
so what should they be? A polygon?
You should be involved in other stuff. And
Polygon of
no.
any
So
size.
again, don't do more than
Don't kill yourself.
what you
Oh,
can
yeah,
do.
exactly.
I remember when I finished school and I did my convocation and I posted on LinkedIn. In fact, at the time I just posted. It wasn't like I wanted to post anything.
You were stunting on
The
us.
only thing I wrote was, okay, I've graduated from school, I graduated with the CGPA, and FYI, I wasn't a triangular student. I did this, I did that, and I did this. And the post literally blew up because people were like, oh, how did you have time to do this and all of that? I think prioritization, knowing what you can do, tilting more to your strengths. What are you like? What can you do
Just
that will not necessarily
experiment, explore.
like take away from you? So don't. I think that's like one key
Yeah.
advice I would say. Don't try to be a triangular student.
Yeah.
At least explore that things,
Yeah.
and yeah, have fun ultimately
Honestly.
because
I deliberately put this in there
yeah.
because I'm like, a lot of us actually grew up in
Hmm.
kind of survival environments.
Yeah.
Nothing like hobbies, no way to kind of creatively express. You're not exactly trying new things. You're not trying to swim. In fact, some of us learned how to swim at that. Some of us still don't know how to swim. Some people don't know how to ride bicycles. Some people don't know how to drive. Do you- Some people don't even read.
Yeah.
So my point is, at least my own background, some of it was more of like, how are we surviving day to day as
Yeah.
opposed to truly exploring life. For a lot of people, university is actually the time that they like this concept of exploring, joy is an option. For some of us, is in the room in the hostel where like some colleagues will be, just talking about their own lives, some of the things they were experiencing. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So people
This
do
is-
internship abroad,
yeah.
People, hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
For some of us, that's the exposure. For some people, it's like, oh, there's this program. I remember that there was a tech program that I was doing. I can't remember, it was a year 3, year 4. Again, maybe I just heard someone saying they apply for me, so I just applied. And I did a lot of hardware stuff. It was free. They were giving us food. And it was so fun because a lot of my classmates were also there. And
Doing it.
I don't know, like I feel like those things are likelier to happen in university. So I also feel like when someone is enjoying certain things, it also strengthens you as a person, as a
100%,
Muslim,
yeah.
right? So it's important that we know that halal fun is not haram.
Yeah, no.
It's not haram.
Go for events, meet people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was one fun time? I have some examples. There was one fun thing you did in school that is just like a fun memory for you.
I liked the mountaineerings that we usually do.
Oh, you had mountains,
Yeah, we had mountains.
Oh my god.
So
Cannot be Unilag.
I always go for the mountaineering.
Yeah.
I liked the departmental events that we usually do.
Yeah. Oh my god. Final year week.
Yeah.
Final year week.
No, not even the final year week. So we usually have like program events where we'd invite other schools, speakers.
I particularly like final year, not because
I like final year.
Even before I got to final year, because you see the seniors,
as they are doing their own, you'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's so good because like you just look back and like, okay, I've been with this set of people for the last 4 or 5 years. We're almost done. Yeah. You get to dress up. I think there's the dinners. Yeah. They also give awards. Yeah. To some extent, like that was really fun.
Yeah.
I think the costumes were, some of it was like outrageous.
No, we didn't. We do costume day myself. Yeah, I don't remember I was doing costume day
for me as well, because my school was very close to. There was this cinema in this Yapa or some Sabo, and for students there was like
free.
It wasn't free, but it was very discounted. Maybe we could watch movies for 500. So some of us would pack ourselves. We'll just go. Like Unilag was so fun. Cold Stone was also very close. Like we'll save up our money. We'll go. And so like, have fun. Go for events. Yeah. I used to really like the sisters annual conferences as well, So yeah, it's not serious all the time. I feel like we Muslim women particularly, we even need to be careful not to fall into this, I'm just doing my duty. I need to check XYZ. I need to be calm down. If you can afford it, go for it. Visit your friends in school. Go to find a way to do picnics if you do. Like there's some locations on campus
where you can do.
Even though some of it was like notorious for,
all sorts.
But I think they're still enough. I remember, I think it was me and Mariam, one of we used to we've gone to eat amala before at one. There's one place in Uni, like I'm forgetting. She Yamoriani. They said like we used to go and it was really good, like eating amala together and just having a conversation and then coming back. But there are even more to do now. Like you can go to art galleries, you can paint, you can. So much to do, ladies.
So have fun, because again, time is fleeting. It should go.
Even sometimes it would be because even though I said I won't do like overnight again, there were now strategic overnights we'll go for where we're not spending the full night there. And sometimes we'll just be after reading, we'll just talk.
And bonding.
And some of those conversations, bonds, is still old, still today. So please, guys, it's not all. I know there were some really smart people that used to have this reputation of they're standoffish. Don't be that person as a Muslimah, please. Be fun, be nice, smile. You're a representative of Islam. Anyway, up next, should we tell them?
Tell them everything.
Should we tell you the truth? The truth is that you are going to sometimes fall off.
Yep.
But you will come back up again. So life is what? Ups, downs, tawakkul. Examples of this is you might have some less than desired grade. Mariam talked about it earlier. I've also had that experience. I think, was it a C? There was one really bad grade I had. It wasn't like bad, like you said, but like
you feel like why
am I having
this?
Do you understand? Sometimes it's that, class is clashing with your prayer times. You cannot pray.
Mm.
So Salah is sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, your routine, that routine of, oh, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this, go to library, it will fall off. Sometimes assignments go on choke you.
Yeah.
You know, Iman going down, coming up. But the thing is, your story doesn't end there.
Yeah.
It's just a beginning, right? And there's this thing about how we are as humans where we have our moments of like energy bursts and times where naturally you're just a bit quiet, you don't really want to do this. So I think my own approach or my own recommendation is when you are in that high burst mode, don't waste it on useless things.
Yes.
Go all out on, okay, you are feeling very energetic. How about you wake up for Tajud? You are feeling very, happy. How about you host something and you invite your friends?
Yeah.
You are feeling.
As I used to host iftar.
I love.
In uni.
Amazing.
I actually just remember.
Amazing.
Yeah,
were you living outside campus?
No, I was living
on campus.
But that was so my final year. I stayed in A2 in a room.
Oh,
I see. Actually, now that I think about it, that was one of the moments I took for granted because how I got that space.
You don't even understand, but you did it. But yeah, that's a good example. Yeah. Like you were probably very feeling, I want people around me, I want to do. So lean into those moments. And when you feel like, this energy it's gone, just stick to what is obligatory. Yeah. Go for your classes. Try to go for your classes. Try to make sure you're praying 5 times a day. Just try your best, right? And know that that's not the end. Because I feel like a lot of people think, once I fall off,
that's it. No.
Once I make a mistake, see, you are only just beginning.
Yeah.
As we are like this, we've left school for how many years now? There are still sometimes, even with work, even with like your friends, you make a gaffe. But what do? You don't dwell on it. You just kind of look, okay, how do I make it up? How do I make it better? How do I make it better next time? And you continue to go. There's a tweet I want to read. It says, things I do when I fall off the dune. Basically doing bare minimum. So this person says they try to do a lot of istighfar, try to have some moments where they are deeply just contemplating. Remember Allah while doing mundane things. So maybe doing your groceries. Just, be conscious and then also reach out to family members. I think this is very important when you're in university. So value the time you have with your loved ones. Keep the family ties very strong. What did your lowest moment in like uni look like?
I don't think I had any. Like Iman wise, lowest point. I think there's one thing I'm grateful about is no matter where I was in terms of the dean, OU is an enabling environment.
You didn't allow you fall off into the.
So I don't think it would necessarily. Well, it depends. I'm speaking for myself, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily fall into I'll not now pray because you have musolas around every
you even be hearing. I think that's one of the things Allah blessed.
Yeah, you see people praying. So yeah, even though your cushion might probably not be 100% on point, but at least you are checking it and you're praying your salah.
That's such a good point. Yeah. If I look at my salah in school and now, make we shall not talk.
But yeah, I think OU was a very good enabling environment in that regard. So not necessarily like you're falling exactly off.
Yeah, I think for me, probably my final year, I struggled a bit because I just had a lot of questions, right? But I echo you on what you said around sometimes, like again, Allah guides Umiwills. I never quite fell off to the extent that I'm not going to ever pray or I never. So maybe it's a prayer point and it's a thing where we just pray to Allah to make it that, like, even in our moments of you kind of are able to stick to the obligations as much as possible. And the fact is that Allah, when you are steadfast, when you keep coming back to your Lord, appreciates and likes that. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out, but move a step closer every day. It's very important as Muslims. I think we should wrap up now. Overall, may Allah make your journeys easy.
Amen.
May Allah grant you righteous friends, barakah in your time, grant you the youth and the energy and protection from, harmful environments.
Amen.
More importantly, may Allah grant you clarity,
Amen.
especially in your identity and, the direction you want to
Very
take
true.
your life in. I think it's pretty important. We need a lot of young Muslims who know themselves, who know their faith, and who are proud to show up
As visibly Muslims.
exactly in that way. We'll talk about it some other time. I think there's so much there's so many places we can go through with this, but let's put a pin on it here. We hope you really enjoyed this episode.
And let us know your uni stories as well for for you
doesn't
guys.
Have to be year 1, year 2, year 3,
for you guys
final year.
Yeah.
What was your best uni year?
Final year.
Same. I loved it.
I was
having fun. I was having the time of my life.
I was just waiting for me to graduate. I already knew where everything was.
Exactly. No, I think my year 4 and year 5 was so good. I wish that was the mindset I'd gone through like entire uni with. Yeah. Anyway, may Allah make it easy for us. Please share with us. Comment. What was your hardest moment in uni? Your best year in uni? If you're still in it now, tell us what's going through your mind. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We still have the Add to Mic link. We can share it again. And thank you for listening to us once more.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.